Hello everybody, this is Master Sam and today we're gonna learn how to clean your sparring gear. There's 3 methods that we can take, so stay tuned for each method. No matter what method you choose today, the first step for all of them is to take out your sparring gear and let it get some air. When you put it in the bag right away and then don't open it until you spar again, that allows for a lot of opportunity for the sweat to eat away at your gear as well as the bacteria to start to make it smell bad. So the first step is to take out everything. Okay, so for method number 1, you can take a bucket or you can go to the sink. Um, Either way, you're gonna put a really small amount of soap, like a drop or two of soap, and fill the rest of it with water. I'd say maybe half the bucket with water. Once you have the water and you have a rag, we don't have rags here right now, so pretend these paper towels are rags, but you need to use a rag, not paper towels, because the paper towels will get too wet and then they'll start breaking everywhere. So use a rag, okay? Once you have the rag, you're gonna want to put some of the soapy water onto the rag. Don't make it wet. It has to be just damp. Once your rag is damp, you can begin taking your gear, wipe the outside, wipe the inside. You have to make sure you wipe the inside and then set it out to dry. And you're gonna repeat the process with all of your gear. Wipe the outside, wipe the inside. With the strap gear, you're going to want to, after you wipe, strap it back, okay? When you strap your gear back like this and let it dry and then store it like this as well, this is how we can keep the Velcro in here nice. If you just leave it in the bag like this, throw it in with everything else, that's how we can get your gear to not stick. So if you've ever had gear and you're sparring and then it keeps falling off, that's because you're probably not putting it away correctly, which means once you're done and it's dry and it's drying, when you put it back, you need to put it back closed, okay? So same thing, repeat the process, wipe with soapy water, wipe outside, wipe inside. Same thing with your gloves. Wipe the outside and then try to get in the inside. Same thing with the foot pads. Wipe the outside, wipe the inside. Helmet as well. Make sure that you're wiping the inside and the outside. After you've wiped everything, make sure, this is very important, you have some kind of disinfectant spray. This is the kind I have, okay? You have to spray your sparring bag too, because if you keep throwing it in here with the bacteria and then take it out, there's still some bacteria that will be in the bag. So you also have to make sure that you spraying your bag with the disinfectant spray. Method number 2. Say you don't want to use water, soap and water, or you don't have enough time. I know a lot of students, they have to pack up their bag really quick and they go, and they probably don't open their bag until they come back again. So time is key here. That's why we can use this. Disinfecting wipes. Okay, disinfecting wipes. You can do the same exact thing. Same exact thing. You're gonna get one, and same thing. You're gonna wipe the outside, and then you're gonna flip it around, wipe the inside. Okay, once it's wiped, put the straps back on, and then set it out to dry. Okay, and let it dry. Don't put it back in the bag when it's still wet. Okay, same thing. Gloves, wipe the outside, and try your best to wipe the inside. Okay, same thing. Strap goes back on. These ones go. Set it out to dry. With your chest guard, same thing. Wipe the outside. Wipe the inside. Even the white parts too. This part too. And even the straps. Okay, because other people are touching it, they're kicking it. Once you've wiped the outside and the inside, you're gonna set it out to dry. Same thing as method number 1. When you are done wiping your gear, you're gonna take some disinfectant spray and spray it all in the inside like that, right? Because we want our bag to be clean. The place that we store our gear has to be clean too for our gear to truly be clean. Option number 3, this is if you're in a pinch. Maybe you're on the sparring team. Maybe you have to go to a birthday party after class, something like that. That's why this can of Lysol is very, very, very useful. Or any kind of disinfectant spray. It doesn't have to be Lysol, okay? You're gonna do the same thing for everything. Everything's set out, just quick. You don't want to drench it in Lysol, okay? Very quick, just spray, spray. That's it, set it out to dry. Very quick, spray, spray, just set it out to dry. With your helmet, instead of just spraying it, you can spray the inside, and then you're gonna take a paper towel, okay? Paper towel and wipe it, okay? Because sometimes gear like this, where it's like a foam and then it has like a plastic layer over the foam, sometimes, especially the inside it can just stay wet for a while. So especially if you're in a pinch, you're gonna wipe it out. If you have to go really fast, so this method really is only if you're in a rush, you have to go somewhere after class, you don't have a chance when you go home, take a paper towel. So after you're done, I sprayed my gear, okay? It's gonna be wet if I'm in a rush, and I can't put it in my bag if it's wet, okay? Because that's gonna create a bigger issue than just having sweat on it. So just wipe with a paper towel real quick, like that, and I'm done, okay? Then when you store it back, put your straps back on and store it, okay? Now for your mouth guard, for all 3 options with your mouth guard, I recommend getting a cup, putting water into the cup, and like half water, half mouthwash, and just let it sit in there. So you're gonna dilute the mouthwash because it doesn't need to be super, super strong, because you don't want to have the chemicals mess up the imprints of your teeth, right? You also don't want it to eat away. So just half water, half mouthwash, boom. If you don't have mouthwash, take a toothbrush that you don't use for your teeth, okay? So you can go anywhere, find an old toothbrush, and take your toothpaste, put a tiny, tiny drop, less than the amount that you put in your mouth, and then you're gonna just scrub it with your old toothbrush. Again, after you're done, rinse out your case as well, and let them air dry separately. Don't put it in the case and then let it dry together, because that can create mold, okay? Let them air dry separately. Bonus, if you have sock gear, this gear is harder to clean than the other strap kind of gear. If you have this kind of gear, the sock gear, there's no straps, it just looks like socks. Your goal for the arm guards and shin guards is you can put them into the washing machine. If you put them into the washing machine, you have to make sure that the water is cold and it's at the lowest, like, delicate setting, okay? Because if it goes too fast, you see, there will start to be strings and things will start to fall apart, okay? You have to put it on a low, cold setting and just let it go. Do not put it in the dryer. If it puts in the dryer, they can shrink. The foam padding on the inside can get deformed. And again, the strings can pull out, and then your gear will kind of be ruined or start to deteriorate on its own. So let them air dry after they are in the washing machine. Same thing, never forget to disinfect your bag. So the ultimate goal is to never ever put your gear back in its bag when everything is wet, okay? So whatever method you use, 1, 2, 3, or if you have the sock gear, never put your gear inside the bag when it is wet. Let it air dry, okay? You can use either 3 methods based on how much time you have, but make sure that they're dry, okay? If they're not dry, it can start to deteriorate. There can start to be bacteria left over, and there can also start to be mold, okay? You have to make sure that everything is dry before you put it back in the bag. Same thing when you spray the bag. When you spray the bag and you don't have time to let it air dry, wipe it out with a paper towel before you put your stuff back in it. Okay? Because if you don't remove it, it will create a bigger issue than it just being sweaty from you sparring. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you next time.